So another very important feature that you have to always remember when you're working with the SketchUp is the selection tool. So having the selection tool is basically either going up here and then click on the selection tool, or you can press space whenever you are in different columns. So for example, if I'm using the line tool, whenever I press space, it just automatically go back to the selection tool. So there are multiple ways of selecting object in the in our scene. One of them is basically clicking on one, for example, surface, or selecting one edges, and that basically by clicking on them, you're basically selecting them. The other way of selecting object is double click on the surface. So instead of one click that click only one side of it, I can double click on it. And as you can see, now the surface is selected and all the edges are also selected as well. If I click 3 times on the surface, now all the object will be selected instead of just one surfaces. So that's become very helpful when you are dealing with the multiple object and you want to selecting them. The other way of selecting object is basically using a window tool. So I'm going to go over up here and I'm going to click on one side and then hold press and then go on to the other side and now start selecting it. Whichever object which is crossing that window, this window is going to be selected. I'm going to do them one more time, so like pressing, and then this time I'm going to go all the way down to this side. If I don't want them, I can press escape, or I can click outside that, and that's going to be deselecting all the object. I can do the other way around as well. I can start it from this side and go all the way to this part. And as you can see, right when I started from the lower left corner, whichever object that is within my rectangle completely, it's going to be selected. So even if I crossing these two line here, those two edges here, since they are not completely in my window area, they are not going to be selected. And this become very helpful, especially when you have multiple objects and you're trying to be very selective and select one piece because you want to edit them or whatever thing that you want to do later on that object. Whenever you are done or you don't want it in the selected object, you can just press escape or double click outside, and that's going to be deselecting the object in the scene.